And now, coming to you all the way from Crane's Bar in downtown Los Angeles, filled with an undetermined amount of knowledge and booze. Take two.
I think it's indeterminable amount.
Indeterminable amount. And now, coming to you all the way from Crane's Bar in downtown Los Angeles, filled with an undeterminable amount of knowledge and booze. A sports show guaranteeing you a win or a loss while wagering your hard-earned cash. Against the Spread with your hosts, Jarrett and Joe. Take it away, boys!
Thank you.
It's called Getting Paid.
Yeah. This is Getting Paid by Superior Fandom.
Is that what it's called now?
I think it's called Getting Paid now. Because we don't just talk about Against the Spread, even though we are going to bring that up today, but we don't just talk about it. You can take the game, you can take a team to win. It's called Getting Paid against...
So we're 6 out of 7 on our last couple weeks worth of bets. One way or another, whether you choose to listen to us or not, we're probably going to make you some money.
Or we'll lose money.
The first game that I want to talk about this week is Seattle, the Seahawks, are -1 going to Philadelphia. The Seahawks, the last few weeks have been playing pretty poorly. They lost a couple tough games, but they last week they beat the Niners pretty soundly by a solid 15 points. I think Jim Harbaugh and everybody with the Niners kind of had something to prove, and they kind of fell short of that. And I think Pete Carroll's got the guys playing pretty solid going forward. They're going up against the Eagles team this week that has also been doing pretty solid. There's a resurgent Mark Sanchez. LaShawn McCoy is always tough. But I think the Legion of Doom and the fact that it's now December and Pete Carroll always has a tendency to have his team playing solid at the end of the year has the Seahawks at a good position to move forward here. And I think -1, that's probably a good bet for the road favorite. Jared, I think you wanted to talk about
Whoa, slow down.
What's that?
Because, now that's interesting you bring up the December factor, but I would actually take Philly in this game.
Why?
I think Philly, they put points on the board. Seattle has been struggling to put points on the board. And Philly's pretty solid. Just don't discredit or discount their offense and defense. They put points on the board, and Seattle does not. They've been struggling on that end. And I think the December factor, though, you bring in, I think that changes things. But you never know. That's going off past years.
I understand your point, and I think that is a key element to this. I think one thing that I think is going to kind of play a role into this is Seattle played on Thursday on Thanksgiving evening, giving Pete Carroll an extra 10 days to prepare again for the Andy Reid spread, or the Chip Kelly spread rather. And I don't know. I think when Pete Carroll has an extended amount of time to prepare for a team at the end of the year, and I mean, keep in mind, he's got to stop Mark Sanchez. Like, he knows how to stop Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, that's true. I believe he coached him.
So, like, I really believe that I think Seattle can pull this one out. And it's not like they're a huge favorite in this game, so it's essentially a pick 'em, and I give the brief edge to the team that's been there before.
Yeah.
And I think you wanted to talk Patriots and San Diego?
I did want to talk Patriots. New England is going to San Diego this week. This Sunday they're playing. Interesting note, New England has been out here all week in Southern California. They traveled out here as soon as they lost to Green Bay. And they've been out here getting used to the weather, getting used to the time change, getting used to everything. Also, New England's favored by 3.5 in this matchup. New England has won 7 of the last 10 meetings against San Diego, including the most recent 2. But here's a little stat that I thought was noteworthy. New England is 0-9 against the spread in their last 9 games on grass. San Diego is 0-6 against
Where
the
the hell
spread
do
in
you
their last
find
6
that
games.
information? Oh, you must have a really good Google machine.
These are 2 excellent quarterbacks going up against each other. Tom Brady is 45-7 in December, bringing up the December factor again, with a 65% pass completion rating. Phillip Rivers is 30-6 in December, with a 69% pass completion rating. These are excellent. Patriots convert about 44% of the third downs. Chargers convert about 47% of the third downs. San Diego, 7th best passing defense in the league. I still say the Patriots take this one because, number one, they lead in sacks, 28 sacks, with 12 interceptions, versus San Diego's 18 sacks for their defensive line and only 6 interceptions. I think New England takes this one.
I think reason number two that this is probably the right pick is because you don't want to get beat up by Gypsy, right?
Well, I definitely think the Uggs will be coming out to play against Rivers. I don't even know who that is, but the Uggs will be coming out. Thank you, Jarrett, for your awesome pick, and I do agree with you.
The Uggs will be stomping on Phillip Rivers.
Fuck that.
The major issue for New England, though, is that their defensive line needs to put pressure on Phillip Rivers early. And if they can do that and disrupt the Chargers' rhythm, then the Pats take the game, I think.
So I think the next game that I want to talk about, we'll just go ahead and keep moving along, is San Francisco -8 over Oakland.
I can't speak on this game.
I think, first of all, I think the San Francisco -8 is probably too small.
It's way too small.
And I'm going to go ahead and ride the favorite on this one, as much as it pains me to take the Niners over the team that
If you
I'm a
ever
fan of.
say it pains you to take the Niners again, I will punch you in the face.
That's a threat. I'm in a wheelchair. That's a hate crime.
Well, don't be in a wheelchair.
Don't hate a guy in a wheelchair. That's fucking bad.
I love you.
Thank
No,
you.
the -8 is way too small for that. I mean, I get that the Raiders are horrible, which I'm fine with, but I mean, yeah, I'm a Niners fan, but even watching the team play, we're not that bad for it only to be -8.
That really was just a disrespectful loss on so many levels that Oakland put up on Sunday versus St. Louis.
I was very happy with that loss.
Thank you for that. On the same hand, though, San Francisco had a really tough loss last week, losing by more than 2 scores to the rival in Seattle.
This is true, but the way that Seattle was playing, they should have scored more against us. So I have to give it to our defense to keep it as close as it was.
Here's the thing, too, that I think is going to lead to the Niners having a really solid game this week. I think everybody on that team, from Harbaugh down to Kaepernick, down to everybody on the offense, and over to the defensive side of the ball, they've got a ton of shit to prove.
Yeah.
And they're holding on to a playoff possibility by the skin of their teeth. And I don't expect Oakland to put up any kind of a fight to keep this game close. And I just think the Niners kind of roll in this one.
They have to. Being a strong Niners fan, I know the fact that they have so much to prove. And Harbaugh is looking at his job on the line, and he doesn't want to leave San Francisco. He really doesn't. So.
And the other thing too, like that Michigan job is open. So even if he does, even if he does want to leave, the Michigan job is Oakland, and the Raiders are in town. So he's definitely playing for a job in exactly that week.
All right.
So I think the next game we got to talk about is Kansas City and Arizona.
Yeah, let's talk about one of San Francisco's favorite trading partners, Kansas City. Now, Kansas City and Arizona is a very tricky matchup.
So true. We love to trade them.
It's a very tricky matchup because they've played each other only 7 times in the regular season since 1986. And KC has won 5 of those 7 meetings. But they're in Arizona, and Arizona's 6-0 at home. But Kansas City edges Arizona in points per game, yards allowed, time of possession, and how they perform in the red zone. KC also has the 7th best passing offense 7th best rushing offense, and the best overall passing defense. Sorry, hey Gypsy, you're fucking me up here. Come on. Now they're both coming off 2 tough losses.
So you got Kansas City in this one?
I think, yeah. Here's a little stat for all you football nerds out there.
I thought you just gave like 7 of them.
Kansas City's wide receivers.
I can't write this shit down that fast.
Kansas City's wide receivers have how many touchdown receptions this season?
2.
Anyone? 0. 0. This is a problem for Kansas City. This is a big problem.
Dwayne Bowe is too busy smoking weed and going to Sonic. Nobody remembers that? Nothing.
Casey also only has 4 interceptions for the season. Arizona has 16. But I think, as Andy Reid or Cuckoo Kachu, the walrus, would say, those interceptions tend to come in bunches for his squads. And I think they're going to get some interceptions against Drew Stanton in Arizona this week.
Hi, my name's Bob. Who do you pick for the Steelers game against Cincinnati Bengals? I'd just like to really know who I should pick.
I would not touch that game
for
this
that.
week.
What? I'm sorry. Could you expand on that?
I wouldn't spend any money on that, but it's always a good bet to go against Andy Dalton. So go Steelers.
Oh, wait.
Hey, so
I think, Joe, you want to talk about the Carolina-New Orleans game real quick?
Here's the thing about Carolina and New Orleans. The reason I think that's a good game, first of all, I'm picking Carolina plus 10 over the Saints, and I'll be super quick on this.
Why not take the points?
I just think
Fuck it.
neither one of those teams are anywhere near as good or as bad as you need to be against the other one to justify a 10-point spread. New Orleans has really had some trouble scoring of late. Drew Brees is really susceptible to the interceptions. There's some injuries on that side of the ball, and I just don't expect New Orleans to be able to put up the points to blow out Carolina and take that game by more than 10. So I think Carolina plus 10 is probably a really solid bet.
It's always hard to turn down a
for
double-digit point gain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what is your question? Oh, no. Oh.
No, we're going to talk about the Rams real quick, much to my chagrin after a 52-point throttling of the Raiders.
The Rams are playing Washington
cheer
in
that
Washington this week. Washington is a 3-point home underdog. We're going to hear from Scotty here, resident Cranian and fellow Kurt Warner aficionado.
I like that
Scotty,
word,
you're also
cranian.
a St. Louis Rams fan. What do you think about
Cranian.
this matchup?
This is a matchup where the Rams are going to dominate. Their defense, as long as they're solid, will hold this game together, while the offense, as long as they minimize their mistakes, will definitely run this team over and beat them by at least a touchdown.
I have a question before we get out of here. Is it really a dominating? Does it really take a dominating performance to beat a team that's led by Colt McCoy? Like
Who?
Colt McCoy, the Redskins quarterback. Is it really going to take a dominating performance?
Well,
to
he's
beat-
going to be very sore on Monday morning. Let me just put it that way.
I think I actually disagree with this a little bit. St. Louis seems to.
Yeah, you're making too much noise. You got a minute left. What do you got?
I would actually take Washington in the points on this one. Washington now.
Boo.
Yeah.
Hey, what was that word? Booze? Aren't you guys supposed to boo now? I don't know. I think the game is on. I think we're out of time.
Oh yeah.
I think you can find us at facebook.com/Superior Fandom. We're here every Thursday. Thanks for listening and letting us, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Tip Gypsy. She's awesome.
Later.